keyword, okay? We use the while keyword. So another thing I want us to look at is, I want us to look at switch case, okay? Switch case. Now, if you recall, talked about a certain script that I have. Let me see if I have this script, okay? GitHub, I have package installation scripts, yeah? So I have a script I wrote for Nexus. Is it Nexus? Yes, that's Nexus. You can look at this script, for example. You see, it's based on switch case. You see, case $1. Remember $1? First argument, right? Remember, $1 is first argument. So anytime you see manage, right? That's what we are saying. Anytime you see manage, this is what you should do, right? Okay. And the interesting thing about the script is that it even has some if else conditions, you see, if else conditions built into switch case, okay? I have if else condition built into switch case, right? And you have all of this, right? So these are different options, okay? So we are trying to build a switch case, okay? Looking at something similar, right? Looking at something similar. But this time around, let's say you want to look at what scenario should I look at, okay? I want to look at scenario. Okay, let's look at a different scenario. Case the number one, okay. So let's say, let's look at an example, a simple example that we can build up from there, okay? So that switch case allows you to use options, right? Use options. So it allows you to use options, okay? That's switch case, okay? So looking at switch case, let's look at an existing script we have. Let's cp second while loop.sh, cp second while loop.sh, right? Second while loop.sh. Let's make this switch case. Switch case, okay? Let's call this switch case .sh, right? Let's call this switch case .sh, okay? So this is switch case .sh. So if you vi to switch case .sh, let's see what we see, okay? So for switch case, we are trying to use this script to explore switch case, okay? So let's delete all of this. Okay, so we can do something very simple to explain switch case, okay? So let's clear this. This will help us to explore switch case. Okay, this will help us to explore switch case, okay? So let us say we are looking at some scenarios. Let's say we are looking at some scenarios. Okay, let's say we are looking at some scenarios. And let's say, okay, anyway, with switch case, it always starts with case, okay? Switch case will always start with case, right? It will always start with case. Okay, switch case will always start with case, okay? Case, okay? Where are we looking at, okay? So let's say we want to look at first argument or second argument or whatever argument, right? we can say, specify this, okay? Let's even do something interesting, right? Let's do something interesting. Let's do something interesting, okay? So we can say case $1, okay? $1 in, okay? So this is how you start your switch case, okay? Case, okay? Let's say you're trying to look at first argument, right? Case $1 in, right? Let's say we want to build like a simple calculator, right? Want to build a simple calculator, right? Want to build a simple calculator. A calculator that can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and even get a modulo, right? Let's say we want to build a calculator, right? So we can say, okay, we can say case in $1, case $1 in, okay? So when you use this expression like this, case $1, okay, it means you are trying to utilize $1 for something, right? You are trying to utilize $1 for something, right? You are trying to utilize $1 for something. So if you take a look at this, you see, if you take a look at this, let's see what we have here. If you take a look at this, you see, before the case $1, right? You see, before the case $1, you see, these are some entries we've put, okay? These are some entries we've put, right? For case in $1, these are entries that we've put, okay? So now, if you come back here, you see, we have case $1, okay? So I want this to be able to, I'm trying to build a simple calculator to do add, okay? To do add, right? To build add, okay? Then the next thing I want you to do is to, okay? Next thing I want you to do is that if you want to use add, right? You want to use add, right? So you want to specify a command, right? You want to specify a command, right? You remember expr, you can say the addition, you can say echo, right? Let's say this is the command you want to run. You need to now specify that there, right? You see, this is the first option, right? You see, you close it with this bracket. There's no opening bracket, right? This is the first option. I want to add, right? Echo the sum of the second and the third arguments is, okay, so now I want to go beyond using just $1. I want to use $2. I also want to use $3, right? The sum of the second and the third arguments, okay, is. So I want to get the sum, right, of the second argument and the third argument, right? Using add as $1, right, as first argument, you see. Now we are playing with $0, the name of the script that we are working on right now. We are also looking at playing with $1, right, which is the option, right? It could be hard, it could be whatever. We're also looking at playing with $2 and $3, right? So that is why I have second and the third argument, right? So I said the sum. You see, this does not matter, right? But what matters is what I want to put in now, right? So I want to use the expr keyword, okay? Use the expr keyword, put the black tick here, use the expr. So to get the sum, okay, what we need to do is to say $2, which is the second argument, plus $3, $3, right? Which is the third argument. Then I close the backtick. You see? You see? I've used $1, right, as option. I've come here to specify $2, right? It means we have to define $2 and $3, okay? So I just want to build a simple calculator. So, and the thing is, with switch case, you must always ensure after you feel you are done with this part, okay? Let's say I say, okay, I'm done, right? But I really don't understand this concept well, right? I'm assuming, right? So there's something I should put, double semicolon, right? I should put it here like this. But let's say I didn't know what I was doing, right? I just come here, I say, okay, I'm done. So the next thing is to do what? Subtract, right? That's another simple calculation we want to do. Subtract, right? Subtract. And I'll put this. I say, why is this thing not listening to instruction now? It should place it under add. It should make it align, right? It is because I'm missing something, okay? So now that I know what to do, I can either put this here, up here, you see? I can put it up here, okay? So if I come here and I say subtract, okay? Subtract. Or let's say multiply. Let's say subtract, right? Subtract. If I now put this here, you see, it moves it to the appropriate place, okay? So there are two ways we can do this, okay? But I'll address the other way as we proceed. So if we subtract, what should happen? Echo the difference between, you see, the difference between the second argument, you see, second argument and the third argument is, you see, we now use the backtick and go in between it and say expr, right? This expr, you see, this time I will say $3, $2 minus $3, right? $3, you see? We are using the subtract, okay? But instead of putting a double semicolon here, okay, we can as well go to the next line and put it there. So it will also work, you see? It will also work. So the next thing we want to do, let's say we want to multiply. So multiply, you see? We'll do this, you can see it positioned it, okay? So you can now say echo this product, okay? The product of the second and third arguments. You see, third argument is, you see, third argument is, you can now use the expr, you see, to get the product, right? So ordinarily, based on my knowledge of regular arithmetic, right? I will say $2 times $3, right? But because this won't work, okay, so I need to use the escape character, right? The slash, okay? Need to use the escape character to make this multiplication. Now it is multiplication, you see? So now it is not impossible that for this case in $1, people decide to enter something different, right? Could enter anything, right? It's a calculator. It needs explanation, right? So, but if I go ahead and do this, will I be successful? No. I need to close it with 2 semicolons, right? You see? I can now say wildcard for every other thing, right? For every other thing that is entered in $1, what should happen, right? Say you have specified a wrong argument. Okay, you specified a wrong argument, but you can't just say you have specified a wrong argument. You want to use echo, right? Because this is shell scripting, right? Echo, you see, you have specified a wrong argument. Don't forget that you can put all of this within quotation marks, okay? You can put them in quotes, okay? But as much as possible, I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. So the less we put, the better. But once we have an understanding of it, we can now start, putting the quotes and all of that, okay? But this way it's looking simpler, right? Okay, it's just as if I'm writing English, right? So now, if you echo this, you have entered this, you have specified the wrong command, wrong argument. But does this also help? Okay, this doesn't really help fully, right? Because you're telling the users that they specified the wrong arguments, right? But how should they use it? What's the right way of, what's the right argument to specify? Okay, so we now need to come here, okay? We need to come here and tell them what to do, okay? So you can say echo, okay, echo, 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 the usage, okay? You can say usage. How do you want it used? Okay, echo usage, right? And say usage, sh, right? We're telling them how to use it. Okay, sh $0. You must specify the name of the script, right? Then after specifying the name of the script, you can either choose add, you see, add, or you see, you can specify add, or let's use this. Okay, add or subtract, you see. This is messing it up. Let's use this, okay? Or you say add or subtract, you see. You can specify something like this, add or subtract, or multiply. Then after doing all of this, you can just put this in maybe a kind of bracket like this so that they know that it's any of this, okay? After specifying the name of the script, you can do this, okay? So you can specify add, subtract, or add or subtract or multiply, right? Then after doing that, specify first number, any number in digits, okay? Any number in digits, you can specify that. Any number in digits, right? And you also go ahead and tell them to specify yet another number in digits, you see? And specify yet another number, any number in digits. Okay? So once we do this, n number in digits, we want to close this, okay? So once we close this, the next thing we want to do is that we want to come down here and use double semicolon. We could also put it right up there, okay? Doesn't matter, double semicolon, okay? So once you are done with this, you want to click on enter, okay? So you see, when we're looking at if conditions, right, it started with if and ended with phi, right? That's the reversal, phi, fi. So here, we're looking at the same thing. It starts with case, so it will end with a sac, okay? That's case reversed, a sac, okay? A sac, you see? So writing it correctly, placed it in the right place, you see? So if I come here, I understand how this script should work. I know $1, I know $2, I know $3, right? If I come here and I escape column WQ, okay, I've saved the file right now. So if I decide to come here and say sh switch case.sh, right? If I just run this, right, I didn't specify any argument. Let's see what to tell us. It says, you have specified a wrong argument. It's now telling us the usage, okay? It's tutoring us, usage. You specify sh, switch case. Remember, I didn't put switch case in the script, right? But I put $0, right? Then I should use add or subtract or multiply, right? Then specify any number in digits and any other number in digits, okay? So it's expecting 3 arguments, right? $1, $2, you see, and $3, okay? So those are the arguments that are expected. So what I want to do now is that I want to now run the script correctly, right? Switch case, sh, switch case.sh. So first argument, okay, I want to add. What do I want to add? I want to add 1,000 and 5,000, right? Okay, so you see, it says the sum of the second and the third argument is 6,000. You see, this way I've created a simple calculator, right? That tells me sum and tells me all of these things, right? So if I decide to change this to subtract, let's say subtract, right? Subtract, okay. And I do this, it says the difference between the second argument and the third argument is minus 4,000, right? You see, if I come here and I decide to switch their positions, you see, 5,000, 1,000, you see, it tells me 4,000, okay? So if I say I want to use product, right? I want to get this multiplication of whatever number, I don't even know. Let's see, multiply, you see, multiply. I specify one big number by another big number, you see. You see, it says the product of the second and the third argument is this, see? That's the product, right, of this number and this number, you see? So this is the way we use switch case. It can be simpler, okay? Okay, but I'll encourage you to go through the video I shared with the last session so that you can see how we can also use switch case, okay? So this is just one way of using the switch case, okay? So let's take a look at the script again so that we can, try to reason with it, okay? Switch case starts with case, okay? But because we are looking at whatever we want to use as option is what we need to specify here, okay? It doesn't have to be $1, whatever. Okay, so we are trying to look at what we have in the script again, okay, so we can have a better understanding of switch case, okay? So what we want to look at is, okay, how it starts, okay? It starts with case in, okay? It could be $1, it could be whatever, it could be anything else, okay? We can read something, right? And say, okay, whatever it reads, okay, we can specify what it will read to get input from the users. You can also do that, right? You can manipulate that to get input from the user, right? So it could be read dollar number or read dollar this or read dollar whatever it is, right? But here, we want to get it in form of arguments, right? $1 is the first argument, right? $1 is the first argument. So you say, okay, $1, it has to either be add, subtract, multiply. And if it is anything else, we tell the system to generate something to give direction on how to use it, you see, to give appropriate direction, right? So now that we've established that, so the first one is add, okay? Add, right? Then here we specify the sum of the second and the third arguments is, then we use the expr command, right? Because we are trying to do arithmetic operations, right? We also established that it should always end with 2 semicolons, right? And we also see the 2 semicolons ending this as well, and also ending this, and also ending this, you see? So these are things we should establish, okay? Now that we've established that, you see, we have also established that, just like if condition, okay, that starts with if and ends with phi, case also ends with a reversal. You can see case ends with a sac. It's like case written backwards, right? A sac, okay? So this is what we're able to do, right? And you see we use first argument, second argument, and third argument. But the first argument, we used it to define the different options, right? And this option is wildcard. It means if you enter anything other than what we've specified here, right? It will return that, you see? It will return that, you see? So this is switch case.